here we're going to do a real quick video if we can. Maybe we'll turn it, there we go. Let's try to turn it sideways. Damn this piece of crap camera phone. Alright, this here is actually, it's very small. It's a 2 foot by 2 foot board that I got bored one fine day and I decided to create, for lack of a better term, a beauty board using all the different terrain techniques and materials that I have just goofed around with over the years. One thing you'll note, we got a bridge over a lovely river, lots of vegetation, small village, a couple of fighting positions here. We got everything from pine trees to, basically I just call them oak trees. I mean, sure, they could be any kind of deciduous tree you can think of, but I just call them oak trees, and some shrubs and whatnot. These buildings are actually, these are printed off on cardstock. You can download the templates from free from ghq.com and print them off. They're not the best quality or the highest detail, but if you're looking to do something, quick and dirty and inexpensive, it's kind of the way to go. And the nice thing, because you can print them out from cardstock, they're paper. You can set them on fire with a lighter and literally burn the building. Create burned buildings. I mean, it's about as cheap as you can get. All you have to do is maybe a little hot glue or super glue, whatever you choose to do, and just slap them together. They're really not that hard. They're actually, if you have kids like I do, they're really fun little craft projects to put together. So here we go, look into the bridge, and of course I need some repair work going on here on this side bit. That's a shame. This river was created using a piece of really thin plastic that I painted a deep blue. I glued to the board and then proceeded to use about, I'd say about 30 sticks of miniature sticks of hot glue, and I would take my thumb, I'd wet it and mold and create this ripple effect, which makes it look like running water. The various bits of rock ledges are nothing more than bits of bark I got out of my backyard, my garden area, and painted them gray. The trees are the same trees that I showed in a previous video, and then just also bits of moss glued in for shrubs, painting in some kind of tank tracks and roads here. There's a small covered fighting position. Here's basically a sandbag bunker, and this bunker is actually a technique. It's made completely out of hot glue and then painted. Basically a sandbag bunker, and this is a technique showed to me by my friend Eric. The pine trees here are very, very simple to make. As you can see, some of my paint is worn off. It's basically just a green pipe cleaner, and I trim the bottom off completely and then trim kind of a cone. I paint the bottom brown for the trunk and the top of it a dark green. Here's a better example. And then I take my brush and kind of tousle it to try to make it look more like a ponderosa pine tree. The texturing here, this was actually somewhat of an experiment gone right. And again, this entire board is completely non-movable. Everything on this board is glued down. Now, this weird texturized terrain, this is, strangely enough, this is dryer lint. Yeah. Elmer's, regular old Elmer's white glue, thinned down. Basically just would wash an entire area and then take a big clump of dryer lint and just dab it into various places to create this kind of mottled texture. And then once the paint's applied over it, it creates a nice little extra three-dimensional dynamic. The roads, which I'm less than proud of, are basically nothing more than paper, hot glued down, and then painted with just a regular old brown, and some try to touch it up with my airbrush to a degree. But basically, yeah, that is the board in a nutshell, and it's basically I created it just as a fun art project. But it is technically a functional board for 1 and 285th scale micro armor. Although albeit a bit short, it'd be more purpose for like early war, short range type of match. But there it is.